Hi, good morning, everyone. Meets the Money Honey here. It is Thursday, January 30th, 2025. And today I'd like to show you how I easily find trades every day that are profitable. So right now we're looking at the NASDAQ. Just a quick overview. We're up 106 points on the NASDAQ. The Dow's down slightly, 42 points, and the S&P is up 15 points. So, not a huge moving day, but I want to show you how you can find out what is moving. I consistently use screeners to filter out the noise, so I'm not having to look through every single stock. And I can kind of go down the list and decide what I want to take a look at and watch to get into a trade, and then set my parameters from there. Your trading always starts with a plan. So this is how I do it. Of course, you want to check economic news first. We had some significant news yesterday come out with the rate decision, and the Fed decided to keep the rate pretty much the same. So no change there. I think we've gotten the major news out of the way. So now let's get down to business. So I use screeners. This is my platform, TradingView, for my charting. And you can do this a few different ways, but just to kind of see what's happening in the majors, you can select indexes. That's a great place to start. You're typically going to have larger cap stocks. So, if you've got the capital to trade these, you absolutely can find some excellent movers in the S&P and the NASDAQ. If you don't have a lot of capital to trade and you're starting out with a small account, then I recommend using a screener that I set up. And you can absolutely use these as well, but you can go to small caps and make sure, if you're looking before the market opens at 9:30, that you're setting the extended hours tab here so that you get the results before market. But I like to use parameters below $10, a change of 10% or more, a market cap of at least 300 million, with a float of 1 million to 10 million. So that way we're going to get the ones that are lower price stocks below $10 that are moving. So that's one way to do it. But if you've got some money to spend, you've got a larger account, then you can go to let me go to a custom screener here and just keep it simple. Click on an index like the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100. Make sure you're clicking extended hours because that can mess you up there. And then sort these so that you see the majors that are moving pre-market. And generally, this is because of news. We've got, earnings that have come out, or some sort of news, maybe, an offer to purchase or an acquisition, something like that. But let's look at IBM. I think that's a pretty well-known name. And you can see that they had earnings come out yesterday, and significant because they had some moving going on. And usually, when you have positive earnings in a major stock, you're going to see that continue for a couple of days afterwards. And then also, you'll have things like analyst revisions, things like that, where they revise the price of the stock upward based on the earnings. So right now, we are looking at pre-market for IBM on the 5-minute chart. Now you see these lines that I drew here. I do that on a 4-hour chart. And my parameter there is to mark out the high and the low of the previous 4-hour candle. That way we've got a guide to tell us on the lower time frames where we're going to enter this stock, or we're just going to be patient and sit back and wait. Now, they've had on the 5-minute chart, so this is the smaller time frame, so you're going to get more signals on these lower time frames, a bearish signal. So people are probably going to take some profit. So what I would expect for this to do is, in the short term, maybe we're pulling back a little bit, and you can see my indicator has given us some price targets here. So you might want to look for an entry around 242. 242.25, 242.50 probably is a good price. But again, wait, be patient, because when you're at the top of a range here, you do not want to take a long. You do not want to buy this unless you see price break through the top of this resistance level. So up, it maybe come back down and hold this resistance level and start to move up again before you would take a long. And then if that were the case, if you were going to take a long here, once you saw it break, hold support, and then continue up, you would want to probably put your target at the high, the previous day's high. And this is how I would do that. So this is theoretically speaking, this is not a trade that I would take unless I saw what I just described to you. But if we were going to get into a long, if it broke through that price level, held, and started to continue, this is what my trade would look like. We would have a 4.35 ratio. So meaning you are looking to earn 4 times your initial entry point. And that makes it so that our stop loss is much smaller. So if this trade does go against us, then we haven't lost a lot. But if it does go in our direction, we've made a significant profit there. So that's how I would do that. Now, let's just say you weren't gonna take a long and this thing started to break through this support level. And remember from our statistics class, a lot of times price will revert back to the mean. So my guess, just from looking at my indicators on this chart, my guess would be that price will fall, line up with this 200 period moving average, and then back off to the races. And in which case, I hope this happens, in which case we're going to get down a better price when we enter this trade and ride it back up to the high. So that would look like this. Oh, no, let's not do a fib retracement. Let's hypothetically, let's put in a trade down here and see what kind of risk to reward that would get us. That'd be pretty significant. So that would be a 6.73 risk to reward ratio, which would be phenomenal. So for me, I kind of hope price does come back down here. And then that way we get an even better entry. So it pays to be patient as a trader, and just kind of watch and see how things play out. Of course, you want to check and make sure that this thing has volume. And we've had, 7 million in volume. And then another way you can judge the strength of a stock and what it's going to be, what it's going to do is look at the relative strength index. So this tells me that the strength in the upward, trajectory is falling. We're losing a little strength here. I'm not seeing significant volume down here, so that tells me that probably price is going to come down. And remember, this is just a take profit level. Typically, when we move, price moves, it bounces between support and resistance. So my target, if I were going to enter this trade, if I didn't see it break through, like I just described, would be to be looking to get into this stock and along around maybe 236.50. And then we would stay in it until we either got some sort of indication that it was breaking down and gonna, revert all the way back to the mean. But my target would be 258. I like to use the solid numbers, so I would target, maybe just before 258, just to make sure I could get out of this trade, and the volume was there. So anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Remember to set your stop losses Happy trading, and I will see you back here again tomorrow. Thanks so much. And if you like what I'm bringing, please hit that subscribe button. I'm just starting out as a new channel. I want to bring value. Give a like to the video and leave me any feedback in the comments. I read it, and I'll be more than happy to oblige on a video with any suggestions that you may have. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Take care.